action. Hello, everybody. Today is the third episode of the Copecast. I'm gathered here with WarLordCotton and CloudzProductions.
Hello.
Starting today off. Clouds, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Brain is a bit mushy from a long day of work, but I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well, you know.
All right, let's get into it.
It's been a
let's get into
pain dealing
the.
with Warlord. But
Okay, Sulibaz.
just asking you a question. How do you feel about the overall server right now?
Of SNS?
Yes, of Sticks and Stones.
I feel strong about it. I feel it's mechanically, I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best. It's up there with RTP anyway, I'll say that. It's mechanically very sound. There's definitely some bugs, but I mean, every server has their fair share of bugs and mistakes and stuff like that. So you can't really judge it off the mistakes when every server has their mistakes. So,
Yeah.
Okay, as you were talking about like a past server like RTP, do
mhm,
you want to rate all the servers from RTP, KNC, RNR,
sure,
and SNS?
I could do that. You want me to
Best to
like rate
worst?
them out of 100, or you just want me to best to worst?
No, best to worst. Best to worst.
Yeah,
Best to worst.
best to worst.
Okay. Man, I like tied RTP and SNS, right?
Really?
I think RTP was the greater server. I think it was like much more loved and is overall more popular and greater. But I think SNS was the better one, like mechanically and how it's being ran and stuff like that. Up next, then I would say KNC, without a shadow of a doubt. It's easily that one. Then probably Peace and War.
Okay.
Then Rise and Rule.
And then SNS is tied with RTP or KNC.
Yeah. RTP, I think, in my opinion.
But see, the thing about Clouds, I disagree with you for the main reason that RTP, it had a lot of content. That means most of the players were extremely happy at that time, and they were having lots of fun, such as the Livonia.
That's why I said it's the greater server. It's
so then why
it's so much more popular, and I dropped my nail clippers. It is much more popular. It was overall greater as a server itself, but mechanically, rule wise, and everything else that falls under that umbrella, SNS was better at. But
the rules from RTP made that content. It's because of those low rules.
I feel like but the problem is when you have no rules, or when you have very like the skeleton of rules, it leaves open the door of like what's the word, like how you view the rules. So like, no, I wouldn't even say toxic. I mean, yeah, RTP was toxic, but I mean, like, come on, everyone's
fucking
good
toxic.
It was a good toxic, exactly. Like,
toxic,
how do I even fucking say it? Like,
it leads
like
out...
RTP had so few rules that made players basically make their own rules. If you think about it, like,
but that's people, the thing.
People played their own server on that server, which I fucking loved. But at the same time, I felt like there's too many players at the same time who use that fact for their own advantage, and that's why I think RTP, other than the fact that the owner of the server at the time just got bored of the server and stopped running it, I think that was one of the major factors on why he stopped doing it. Was like some of the players on the server were just straight pieces of shit. Like, I'm sorry, but that is factual information. Like,
but the thing is, maybe it's not like here's why I put RTP at the top. I'll give you 3 reasons why. First reason, amount of content, bro. It was so fun. Livonia versus Resenta, extremely fun. 3 hours war, so much fun. And then like the Shoto versus Livonia, that was really fun. And like all these wars were extremely fun, and the players were able to do it. The players were able to really put it out there. Like Resenta and Livonia, like, bro, Resenta literally went for world conquest. You can't do that on these type of servers anymore.
Oh, you can.
You can. It's just a little hard on this map.
Okay, it's like this. Okay, look, this is okay. I'm going to speak about the plans of the server of SNS. All right, so you guys are getting some juicy information right now.
Yes.
Nicely.
Okay, so a lot of the rules, I'm going to actually say 90% of the rules were made for the server to be in the future. The fact that the server is so not the server, the map is so big is for in the
Mhm.
future, and I'm talking like a couple months down the line, like 2 or 3 months, maybe even 4. There's going to be big nations. I mean, if you look at the map right now, there are some fairly big nations on the map already. Like Valoria is fucking huge, and then you
Yeah.
have like Meridia's pretty big, Clovera, Aurcan, Irova.
Mhm.
They're all pretty big nations. But imagine how big they are now, but in a couple months. They're
But
going to be so much
Quag,
bigger, and there's going to be border conflicts. So when that's the
Quag,
case, Conquest War Goals will take a huge part in the server. There's going to be a villain then. Right now, I will agree with you. There is not a lot going on.
yeah,
It's pretty dreadful.
yeah.
But
And the thing is that like what I've heard from Kiwi and all like my nation leader, and the thing is that, and like last pod we were talking was that it's really hard to set up a war and get war goals when everybody's just isolated and I have to travel 30 minutes to go actually engage with the player. So like for example, if I'm in Naldwar and I want to go to what's like a far nation? I don't know.
Aurcan, we'll just say
No,
Aurcan.
like yeah, like some random nation that's pretty far, a little bit far. I would
Nevada.
have to travel all the way there, and I would have to interact with the players if their players on, depending on
Okay,
the
but
time zone.
why would you
And
do that? Like,
Because you
because
why
gotta
would
do
you
something.
if you're in Naldwar, right? This is just
Mhm,
my opinion now. If you're
yeah,
in
yeah,
Naldwar,
mhm.
why on earth would you try pick a fight with a person who's like 10k blocks away when you have
Because
people who are
No,
like
because
who's
thousands?
Claus.
close to him? Who's close to Naldor?
Yeah, who's close? Who's close to Naldor?
Kagome, Sorbus, Clovera, Karaz.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, okay. But
yeah,
the thing is they're so far away. They don't even come to our nation. And Clovera doesn't even log. What does Clovera log on?
yeah, they're an NA. They're mostly NA, so they do on during
Yeah, they
our
do
time.
log on.
They
But the
used
Yeah.
thing
to.
is like, but the thing is that they're like, the thing is that a big problem with the server is interactions. That's the same problem that we had with R&R
Mhm.
was the mod team were saying like, oh, travel, look at the trees and everything. But that thing gets old, and that thing lowers the interaction with players, and that thing lowers the amount of content for the server. When you're saying like, oh, we want to increase wars and everything, the best way to increase wars, in my personal opinion, is by not having any mods or anybody to interfere, but actually just to have like easy traveling. Like I'm able to travel and I'm able to talk to these people because and like a big problem with both the servers SNS and R&R was that you can't really talk with people. Right now I can't talk to like a random nation if I want to. They won't allow me. They won't allow me to be in the Discord and they would be very isolationist. And 90% of the server, at least a large portion of the server that is currently playing right now are extreme like builders. So they all are isolationists. They don't even want to like do anything. They're just like gonna sit behind their walls. That's a big problem. So like when you're talking about like the advance to big nations, I think you need something in the middle to like a bridge to like go to that step because I don't think that there's a bridge there
I feel
at the
like
end of the day.
I feel like you're forgetting a huge part of what we added. What I added very recently
What?
was the fact that we added race wars and religious
But race wars,
wars.
you don't gain anything. You don't gain anything. You don't
That's
gain anything. You don't lose
like
anything.
what's you're asking for content. I hand it to you on a silver platter, and you want more. Do you like?
But
Race?
no, but race.
I'm not saying what you're asking for is illogical and improbable. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is like I've met you halfway. I've met the community halfway, and I've given what they wanted, but they want
But
more.
the thing is the race wars. It's like the cheap version of what we wanted. Because the race wars, you're not getting anything. You
Yeah.
can't get anything.
You
It's just a
can.
war.
You very much can get stuff.
What can you get?
What can you get? Yeah,
Okay,
because
for one,
I
you
think
can
we've been
still
pushed
you
before.
can still grave steal during wars.
Yeah, okay.
So you can get all
Is
the
that
loot
it?
that they could. You get all the loot they have. So like, let's say Naldor declares war on Yaroslavia. Yaroslavia is
Uh-huh.
like I think 18 members. That's 18
Okay.
sets. 18 sets. That's not nothing.
But
That's a lot.
but they can just come like without gear. Like why would they fight the war? They don't have a reason to
Yeah.
fight the war. Yeah.
Recently,
You have to
I
understand.
was talking to Twinkie and Yama about that. That is going to be fixed very soon.
Do you mean
Yeah.
fixed
I,
as
I,
in
I,
if they don't show up, they get annexed? That'd be pretty cool.
As in, if
or
they don't show up, they get taxed probably.
Axed.
We haven't discussed it that far yet. I'm going to be honest.
So
We don't.
but there's loopholes to that rule. If you're like, okay, if they don't show up, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. Well,
No,
then
no,
they're
no,
gonna
no, no.
show.
It's not like that. It's more
Okay.
like, let's say they do show up, but they're having
Mhm.
the minimum loot so you don't get anything, or if a very small amount of them show up. It's.
Well, I mean,
Plaz,
they
Plaz,
can't
but that,
control it though.
yeah, they can control that.
I feel like if a nation has more than 10 members that they can only scavenge up to, I think there's something going on.
That's so
Surely.
much for that's so much for mod interpretation. That just leads to bias at some point.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I guess when you say it like that, it does make more sense.
Yeah.
Like Kiwi, you know, they have to postpone the war like what, 3 weeks or something like that. For,
3
That's
weeks.
because of
It's 'cause
exams,
Kiwi-
though.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
because
of
of exams
exams.
and everything.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fair.
That's
it's 'cause of
different.
exams.
That is so different. Like I'm going
that's so
through
different.
exams. I'm starting exams the same day as Kiwi.
that kind of
So
sucks.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck
Thank
to
you.
both of you.
Loser. No,
No, fuck you.
I already know.
But okay, so
Uh,
going back to the like our point of RTP and SNS is you said that that the mechanics of SNS were better because they were built for big nations, right? They were built for
It was.
like if
I felt like the. Like, how do I explain it? The SNS rule set was built
Mhm.
to be a long-lasting rule set, while RTP. If you ever played on RTP, I don't know if you have Sulibaz or not, but I know Warlord has.
I didn't.
I have
Warlord
yeah.
has. We can both easily say the rules late in the server were basically non-existent. There were none.
Yeah,
It
they
was
were non-existent. It
it
was almost
nearly
like,
turned into an anarchy server at one point after the Resenta War.
Hmm.
I think it did for a
But
while.
there was of course no hacking, but everything else was fair game. Yeah.
Yeah, like the server was so like early RTP was amazing. The rules were made
Yeah.
for early RTP, and I loved RTP during the first 4 months, I think.
Yeah.
Amazing server. The rules were
Yeah.
perfect for how big the map was.
And
The rules
it correlates to content. Like if you look at Nate's
exactly.
video,
But
it
if
correlates to
you
content. Yeah.
but if you look at RTP during its final half, it's not really a geopolitical server, it's more of a faction server.
But that's
Yes,
the
but
thing. Like
couldn't you compare
oh, yeah.
SNS to an SMP?
No, I feel like you can't.
Clouds, I feel like you could call SNS and SMP kind of.
Okay, but then couldn't you say Hypixel Skyblock is an SMP? Like that you're not really. You're Stoneworks an SMP.
But
Stoneworks is like a faction server. It runs like
Yeah.
RTP too.
I would say SNS is way closer to a faction server than an SMP, but that's the same with all geopolitical servers. So at that point, there's no real point to validate that as a reason why SNS is worse, because that would be the same.
Why?
But okay,
I'm just asking over. Why did you intend on? Why did you go this route instead of like making everyone like the server at the beginning and then changing the rules like midway, like saying because like the progression started, like
Okay, we were originally going to do that. But problems arose when it came to how will we change it. See,
can you expand on the problems or the
if okay, let's say Warlord. Let's say now you've been playing on the SNS server for 4 months. All right.
Yeah, and I'm not banned. Let's go.
Yeah, you're not banned. Let's just say you were never banned, okay? And you played for 4 months straight. And then randomly we changed the rules, we changed systems, we changed mechanics. You're still going to be used to the old mechanics, meaning you're going to break rules probably, meaning you're just going to get bans for mistakenly doing something you thought was okay.
But Klaus, so like, can you explain or like expand on the term mechanics?
Mechanics, as in the additions to the server. So, like in SNS, we have new enchantments, we have new weapons, we have new blocks, we have cosmetics, we have everything that basically what Stoneworks has, but a little more. I don't want to say more advanced, but like a little like there's more, but a little lower quality. I'll say that more, less quality. If you get what I'm saying.
Like there's a bigger quantity,
Yeah, definitely. I also do think people like try to match SNS with previous Nate servers when SNS isn't a Nate server. It's my server now. It is no longer the community's the same.
Yeah.
And it's the same idea but different execution. Because I feel like people be like SNS was nothing compared to XYZ when in reality they're not correlated. If you get what I'm saying.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean, but the thing is, like when we're talking about like raiding servers and like putting like everything like RTP, KNC, blah blah blah. So the like my biggest problem with your point was that you said that SNS tied to RTP because we have specific mechanics like the additions to the server that matched it to RTP, and I wanna expand on the point of why I think RTP is number one, is also the community in RTP was one of my favorite communities because I made so many friends. I made friends with Ziffy, Played, Drew, like all my best friends right now, like online, like on the server, everywhere. I've met him through there, like RTP. When like now in these type of servers, it might be because of the ease of travel, it might be because of like everybody's playing isolationist, but you can't really make those tight knit like bonds anymore. Everybody's like playing like everybody's playing like their own friend
I
group.
agree with you. I think the server and a lot of the community is playing way too passive, and I hate it because as I would presume most of you know, we're trying to make a YouTube channel. Where
we crossed you in subs and views.
Like we are currently we've made an Instagram, TikTok, YouTube account. We have I think over 1,000 subscribers in all three of them combined.
Wow.
And over like 2,000 views. But like
we're behind
we can't grow the content when everyone's playing very passive, and like I would much rather if there was at least a war every other week, right? Because that is a lot of content.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we can't force people to do wars because that's kind of ruining the point of Geopol. When the fact is, Geopol servers are meant to you grow your own story. This isn't a pre-scripted server. There's no script to the server.
Yeah,
it's
there's no
just,
script. Yeah, of course.
You join the server. You either join or make a nation, and you either you either just play passive and build, or you try to conquer the world. But sadly, like 90% of the community, 95% of the community has gone to the building and being passive and doing nothing on the server.
So
I mean, well, I would like to say something. I would like to say something regarding that. Take Valheim for example. So we very much want to, like, ever since Makai, there are plenty of us who want to go to war, but it was a bit easier in Makai because we had to like islands, like just build like a few buildings and we got the island.
Yeah.
But now that we're on the mainland, it's a bit harder to actually expand, and now that since leaving Makai, we don't have as much activity. So between those two things and just trying to like build towns and move up, it's a bit harder to expand and to be able to like, hey, I want to go to there and get your territory, declare war.
I don't know what you're asking me. I'm going to be honest.
I'm not asking you. I'm just saying. Like Valheim's goals is to expand and like eventually cause like and like start a crusade against like the world.
There's nothing stopping from Valheim to declare a race war or declare a religious war. And if you don't want to do that, you expand. Then you connect your borders with who's your closest. I think Sorbus. You connect your borders to Sorbus. Or Novus, right? Whoever you want to do it to. You connect your borders, and then you do a conquer war goal. You conquer them. Like, I feel like people are very tunnel visioned when it comes to the fact of, I want to do this. I've given all the opportunities. You can do whatever you want on the server as long as it's just like, it isn't, racist or like homophobic or anything like that.
Isn't the
like,
entire point of racist to be racist?
Wait. I feel like
isn't that the entire thing? Like dwarves hate
No. There's no racism on the server. There's political hatred.
Yeah.
The difference.
I think the only real racism was the dwarf goblin shit.
What
in the
is your
beginning.
thought about ideology? Like people creating their own ideologies.
I love it. I full on love it. Same thing with religion.
So
I feel like it brings content and
if I made
new
my own ideology of just hating on pacifist nations, would that allow me to kill pacifist nations?
Would it be an authoritarian government?
Yes.
Then you can do a conquer war goal if you're bordering a nation. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Like, I'm gonna wait. Let me bring up the map there. I'm gonna quickly just copy the map and send it to the chat here, so I don't have to tap out every time. Okay.
Yeah.
Novus is really close to Valheim, Rosenwalden, Meridia, and fairly close to Clavera.
Okay.
There's nothing stopping you from expanding Novus, especially to Rosenwalden, who's like, I think, barely 1,000 blocks away from you.
Well, you see,
Put a board with them and then annex them. Do a war goal and annex them. You get a free, you're getting free land and you're getting content of what you want. But as I said earlier, you're kind of tunnel visioned of being like, I want to do this, but I can't do it at the moment. But in the future, you 100% can. You just need to get towards that goal and put the steps forward to go to it.
Clouds, I just want to ask you a question because you were talking
Shut
about land expansion.
oh,
Sorry,
No,
my dog's barking.
that's his dog. He sent to me, guys. Oh my god, my feelings are hurt. Just kidding. but
what is Runic Pumpkin Nation? The Runic Pumpkin Nation?
I don't know. Pumpkin Stanian, I think
is
it's
that
called.
you? Panastranian? Runic Pen...
Runic. It's Runic Panastrian Union.
That sucks.
Okay, but Clouds. So back to the point of you saying land expansion. So I just want to ask, like, how long does it take for land expansion overall? Like, because we have to put the land expansion in, then it got to be accepted by mods, and that is if mods are on and all of that.
I'll be
How long
honest.
does it
Land expansion is so much easier than people think. All right.
Really?
You put in, you make a map, you draw a line, you make a ticket, and mods will respond to it. And mods usually respond to it within the first hour.
Yeah,
and worst comes to worst, you can ping the staff team. Like, I know personally when I get pinged, I'll look at it straight away. Unless if it's in DMs, then I might take a little like 10-minute break before I do it just to annoy people. But like, I feel like people be like, "Oh, I'm too small. I'm not gonna be able to grow. We don't have enough development."
How big can the land expansion be though? That's my question.
Okay, imagine if you've done enough development, the most you can do is half your nation in half, and then that's how much you can claim. So you can claim 50% more. That's absolute max.
Oh. And wait, you can do this linear? Can you do this linear? So like, if my nation's like,
if you're in Naldor, right, or Yaroslavia, which one?
Naldor.
All right, let's say Naldor does a lot of development. They can grow their land by 50%. All right. Then the following, like, you can only claim once per week, but that gives you the perfect amount of time to do another huge development bump and then do it again next week. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's part of the rules. You can do that.
So...
It's just a max. I think it's a 5 to 7 days in between each claim you can do. Like the shorter time you take in between those, the smaller the claim. So if you wait the full 7 days, or even if you wait the full if you wait 2 weeks, you can get more land.
All right.
Does population affect how much land you can?
Very little. It does affect, but very little. It's not nowhere near as much.
Wait.
The main aspect of land expansion is development.
Do you think players should have morals on this server?
More what?
Morals. Let's say.
In what way?
Okay, so a few weeks ago we were gonna declare war on Arova, but they were like, saying, "Don't kill us. We're a builder nation. You can't kill us. What happened? Like, what if they threatened to quit the server? What would you say in terms of that? Like,
I feel like they just need to grow up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, if you're getting butthurt over a Minecraft server, I'm sorry. That's laughable in my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'm not trying to be. No, look, honestly, I'm not trying to be rude here. I understand if you're a builder and you don't want PvP. Like, I'm a builder and I hate PvP, but like, it's you joined a server where PvP is a main aspect of the server. You know?
Yeah, people join Geopol servers expecting never to go to war with.
Exactly. Like, okay, they joined SNS. I will say SNS is less war.
Let's just like make a little announcements. Clouds does not care about morals. All right, guys.
No. I do care about morals.
He does not care. He's a fool.
No, I do care about morals. I feel like. No, if you like, look, you can have morals. Like, have morals. It's good for you. But if you're getting butthurt over a Minecraft server, man, I can't help you.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a lot expected out of them. I'm going to go on a little rant here now. Don't mind me.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure onto the mod team, specifically the mods, not me, Twinkie, or Yamaha, specifically the mods now, because people. Like, they think their job is the events, when in reality it's me, Twinkie, Yamaha. like we have staff who help us with the events, but people are like, I know personally one of our mods gets bombarded with like 20 DMs a day saying when's the next event because they hosted one event on their own like a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to say names, right? And they're getting constant DMs, but like we have to plan out a whole event, right? We have to moderate. We have to
modernize.
Moderate.
Moderate.
Thank you. We have to moderate the event, and we actually have to have people for the event. Now, we're currently trying to make it so there's a mini event every week, kind of like what we did today with the treasure hunt.
Yes.
And then we're going to try to do one huge event every month. But it's so hard to do that, especially at this moment and for the next 3 weeks, because I have exams, Yama has school, and Twinkie has his own current, like, I don't want to go into it, but like he's very busy as well at the moment. Like, so there's so much pressure on the mods to do something when in reality their job is to moderate the server, right? Imagine their job is to moderate. Me, Yama, Twinkie are the admins. We do the rules, we do the events, we do all that type of shebang, you know?
Yes.
Sorry for going.
I'm gonna argument. So this is like a big issue for me, at least in lots of these servers, is, and you brought it up, and we brought it up in past podcasts. What we're saying was like what's better, mod events or player activity and player events? And that's the thing. Like, if we rely so much on mod events, people will like people
right
will.
Now? Oh my god.
Oh, two more.
Bro's hungry.
I'm hungry.
But yeah, when we rely too much on mod events, the thing is that it's unreliable. At the end of the day, mods have lives. Like,
exactly.
And that's the thing. And I agree with you. People have lives, and I agree. I see that point. I think everybody here sees that point.
Okay.
The only point, and the thing, my biggest problem is what I feel like, is the rules. They foster like stuff that are not. They don't foster like PvP and like going world conquest and like that, like player events. They don't foster that, and that's the thing. When you don't foster that, it takes so, like when you were saying about the conquest and the borders and everything, I understand that, but like, okay, pretend I am if people who are watching the video, they can look at the map. Pretend I'm Aurelia, all right? They're a very small piece of land. If they want to go conquer, I don't know, who's the closest? Runic. They would have to at least expand, if we're talking about mathematical sense, of 50% of the land, about 15 times, around 15 times, or around that amount of times to actually reach to that land. And that's my problem. So like when I'm a starting nation, pretend I start a nation with like all of us, right? And now I want to go into war. I can't do that without.
Just asking right now. You for mod events, I understand that it's owner hosted to make sense. Staff like admin hosted.
Yeah. 100%.
So if that is the case, then why not make some of the rules be a little bit more bendy so that players can interact a little bit more throughout like the weekdays?
I agree. Yeah, that's
Look, I'm going to be honest. We have added ways so that players can communicate with each other without traveling, and we've added teleportation. You can TP to another nation
for 2 gold.
It costs a little bit.
Oh, okay.
All you need though, like all you need for it is a boat, a dock, and if you don't have a if you're a landlocked nation, an airstrip with a blimp on it. And then I think it's 10 gold coins.
10
per nation.
Oh, Jesus Christ! 10 clouds. That's so much.
Oh my goodness.
That's not that much, bro. I have 10 gold coins laying around.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I'm broke.
I have 2 gold coins. I'm literally
broke.
Make
it so that diamonds can be sold as gold coins.
Yeah.
Please. If you're making the prices this ridiculous.
10 gold coins. The economy's gonna go broke. It's over. It's over. We're gonna go to recession. Oh my god.
Recently, I think today
became poor. So
all right. Yeah. One other question.
Yeah,
how do you feel about the Nether being not that great of a success?
Yeah. Very good question.
Like, I know from the start of the
I
server.
don't really have an opinion on it. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we put it there, and people aren't utilizing it, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's not
People are
my
not even
fault.
going to the Nether. Like, how can you
Exactly.
utilize
But like, I can't do anything for that. That's not my fault. I can't be like, go to the Nether or you're gonna be banned. I can't do that.
What if
Like,
you
Yeah, I would
like?
go there if it was
okay.
easier to find out to in
Go
Macau
ahead.
we had a Nether portal, but now we don't have a Nether portal, so
See,
it's a bit of a pain to
the
go.
problem that I'm seeing right now is that it's kind of contradicting because if people want to travel in the Nether, they can. That's fine with them. But you also added the teleportation thing, correct? So like
mhm.
that kind of defeats the purpose of the Nether if you're just gonna build and grind.
That's why the teleportation is expensive.
Oh, yeah, but like, I guess
You're
it's
like you're kind of saying like,
it's
how do I say it? You're like, I know what you're trying to say. It's just like the Nether is free fast travel.
yeah.
It's dangerous free fast travel. Just no one utilizes it for I don't know. Like I've done everything I could towards it. The only thing I could do more is make it so people can make their own Nether portals.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And I'm not gonna lie, I am very close to doing it.
I mean, didn't you
But
allow
at the
diamond
same
tools?
time, I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to because
Why?
Why would
I
allow
feel
Nether
like
travel?
no, Nether travel's okay. You can do that.
Yeah, but like if people make
No,
their own
but
Nether portals, then
yeah,
that would actually
it'll
add
be
a
better.
risk to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The entire reason why no one used the Nether at the first place is because there were Nether portals scattered around. And would you rather go looking for a Nether portal for the entire day, or just like go to the nation that you wanted to go to?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that.
Yo.
I
Yeah.
can't argue with that. That is very fair.
Yeah.
But
So okay. So I think we've gone through. Or we've really strayed and branched off of the 5 nations.
and
So
one other thing.
Okay. Okay.
How do you feel about
So okay.
skirmishes?
Yeah. Skirmishes.
Skirmishes.
I was
I,
gonna
I was
ask. Yeah.
listening to your podcast about it, and I'm gonna be honest. I kind of hate the idea. I'm gonna be honest
Why?
with you. I
Why?
hate the idea.
We have a debate now. Let's
Alright.
go. Let's go.
I feel like it's trying to push for something that players don't really want. I know a small knit community do want it, but there's so much more players who don't want it. And I also kind of don't want it, so that's why it's 99.99% not going to be added.
Okay.
But
No.
okay.
Well, okay. What is your thought on making? Okay, if you had to choose, let me just like do a would you rather? Would you rather allow people to make their own Nether portals and install Nether traveling as a system that we can use, or make every unclaimed spot on the current map a vital killing zone for grave looting?
See, I'm thinking more of the Nether one.
Okay.
The reason why is because when you're on the overland part, let's say I'm trying to kill WarLordCotton, and I'm gonna kill him because he's an easy kill, drop kill, right?
Yes.
So
Okay,
easy to kill,
CloudzProductions.
right?
Nah, actually, well, you might have a little trouble. He might run
All
away or
right.
something like
And
that.
let's say we're near Naldor. All right. We're just gonna say we're there. And let's say I'm fighting him and I'm beating him like the little kitty he is, like the little op he is.
The
right?
Yap is going crazy right now.
Yeah.
The Yap is crazy.
And then we're like near the border of Naldor.
Yep.
There's nowhere like there's nothing telling me that he's in the border. So there's going to be so much confusion when you're trying to kill someone in the overworld and they run into a claimed land, but you don't really know where the border is. And also, I'm not even going to get into the fact that is in the future, the whole land is going, everywhere is going to be claimed eventually. Like that is going to happen. And when that does happen, that rule just becomes obsolete. But if we add it to the Nether, it will never be obsolete. It will always be there, and it will always be a fact that you can do it.
Wait, so Clouds, you said that like there's a big problem with like fighting the overworld is that you don't know if it's claimed land or not. Why not add a plugin that shows if it's claimed land?
We've tried it so many times. The closest
Really?
thing we found was it's actually the one we're using at the moment. It's the one at spawn. Where like if
Yeah.
you know when you teleport to spawn, it goes like "Welcome to spawn,"
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though, doing that alone took almost 30 minutes of Twinkie's time.
What, like the
Now
small
imagine if
spawn?
you had to do that for every nation, every new nation, every time a nation expands, every time a nation merges, every time a nation gets annexed. Like it's a lot
But
of work.
why not just leave it to the player? Like, why not just leave it to the player to claim
They have
land?
to be
Except that
opt for that. Then that's the problem.
Like, why
No,
don't
no,
you
no,
do
no,
like a
no.
tiny plugin?
Yeah, a tiny plugin, exactly.
Yeah, because like the server
The
is
closest
much
one-
bigger than all of them. I feel
The-
like you're gonna need some sort of tiny plugin in the end.
But the problem with every townie plugin I've found is either one of these three problems. It includes an in-game balance, like money currency type thing, where you have to like get money and then you have to use that money to upkeep the land, which is the one that I think Stoneworks uses.
Mhm.
Another problem is when you do it, your land becomes like claimed almost. If you get what I'm saying, like you can't break it, and you can't loot the chests. You can't do any of that stuff. So that turns that into a faction server then, and I don't want that. And the last issue is kind of more of a personal issue of any person can theoretically just expand their borders without telling anyone and like even make it an extra 100 blocks away from their border. And there's no map that goes like that's where the border is, if you get what I'm saying.
I believe the last map that we used in R&R, because I played on a server with Pi. If I think he's a mod or a helper right now. I don't know where he is right now.
No, he got demoted a while ago.
Yeah, but I played a server with him, and I played a server with him, and he used the plugin where it claimed land, and of course two of those problems were there, that it claimed land, but it also showed on the map. So like on the map, it showed like each of the claims.
I'm gonna be honest. Every one that I've looked at does that exact same thing. So that's nothing special. Sorry.
All right.
But like, how about if we like can't we just edit the code where it deletes the ability for it to claim?
Do you know how
Can we do
long
that?
that would take? That would take like a long time. That I know for a fact that I'm not gonna do it, and I don't think Twinkie would be up for it. So.
All right. Making
But
an
if you-
announcement
if you-
real quick. Anyone, if you're watching this video, we need you to become the villain of Sticks and Stones. You know.
Yes, please
Clouds
become the
has
villain of
said,
Sticks and
Do not
Stones.
have any morals. You know.
Junior.
I
No
didn't
morals!
say that.
No
I
morals!
didn't say
Kill
that.
everybody!
Morals, you know. Be the biggest asshole you can be because that's what we want.
Be
Alright?
toxic, of course. Tight-knit
No,
community.
Okay.
We
don't be
always love it.
toxic.
Okay.
Be a
Alright.
warmonger. Don't be a
Yes.
villain. Be a
Don't
warmonger.
be a runner like Warlord Carrot. I think.
Yeah, don't be an op.
It was
Don't
a
be an
10v1,
op.
bro. It was a 10v1.
my
Oh my
God.
god.
Don't be someone who loses to like a bunch of no ones.
Oh, okay, fine. That's enough for me. I have
Man.
2 people against me now on this show. This is crazy. I'm really coping in this podcast.
How do
Get
you
it?
feel
No
about
podcast.
some old nations joining back?
What you mean?
Chimera is coming back.
Mm.
Oh, I love that because I know for a fact that like I've heard from word that like Chimera, Novus,
They're making a new nation.
I thought what I heard was that they're coming back and being the warmongers. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
What I heard was Naldor, Novus, Chimera, and Meridia are being like a huge alliance. That's what I heard.
Oh.
Meridia, I know they're allied with
Naldor,
They did
yeah.
in the event. They allied in the event, just like
I think what's gonna happen, if I had to guess, was Naldor, Meridia, Novus, and Chimera. They're gonna make an alliance, and then maybe would be Karaz might join in as well, and conquer the world, basically, or try to conquer the world.
Far off, but I mean,
hey,
you're on point. You'll see what happens, Senor Clouds.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the warmongering nation to come pop out of nowhere. The closest we have Naldor right now is, but they're like a discount version of a warmonger, so I don't know if that really counts.
Ooh, Kiwi, you gonna take that?
Kiwi not even in the VC, bro.
Ooh, Kiwi left the VC.
What,
Before
this
you
is-
hear that. Ooh.
Jimmy, if you're watching this, shots fired, buddy. Shots fired.
Clouds is not taking any morals here. You know.
No,
Back to the point, Clouds. Back to the point. Back to the point.
Okay.
You conquest war goal. So that thing, I've already explained it previously, right? Like in this podcast, is it takes a lot of time to like actually do the war. So will you loosen up the rules to try to like ease up like the players to be able to do it more freely instead of just like, oh, I have to have borders touching him, or it's like he's my proxy, he's like right next to me, he's like the closest nation to me.
See, but then again, I'm going to bring back to what I said earlier. I feel like once again you're getting tunnel vision there and saying like, I can't declare right now, so what's the point? When in fact, Naldor right now could claim North and declare war on Kagome. Like right now they could. Nothing's stopping them. But they're not going to. Because they're tunnel vision and we can't do anything right now.
Alright, hold on.
But wait.
It's a different situation.
I agree with that.
How do you feel about like player factions like nations already knowing who they are? Like that's kind of like a big problem on the server. Like nations know who they want to team with already from the start. Like the metagaming thing.
Yeah.
Like
the metagaming goes
crazy. I hate metagaming. I actually like when the server was starting, I was like constantly checking all the VCs to be like, are you guys metagaming? You know?
Yeah.
And I hated it personally.
It already happened.
Yeah, I couldn't see the thing is I couldn't stop it. There's nothing I could do to stop it other than like you're not allowed on the server. But like that's just there's no point in doing that. Like when
but Clouds. So we were saying like, oh, like Naldor can do that, but like Naldor, it already went through stuff where it was able to claim land and everything, but now it's able to do it because it has enough land mass and is able to do that. But things like Aurelia and like very small nations, like starting nations, they really can't do that. They have to take maybe like 4 or 5 or maybe even 8 weeks to really get to the first war.
If you're a new nation, are you honestly going to declare a war on someone who's been on the server for a couple months in the first month of you being live? No, that's illogical. That's like signing a death wish. I'm sorry.
Clouds. Pretend that Mercenta joins this server and they make a nation. We're all war hungry.
Okay, whoa. There's a difference between Mercenta and like Aurelia. Like you're comparing a warmongering nation to a builder nation. 99% of the nations that are new are either 50-50 or 100% builders. There hasn't been a single warmongering nation yet. Naldor is the closest, but I would say they're like 70-30 maybe. Like there's a lot of them that are builders. You know?
Most of the servers comprised of builders, bro. That's why a lot of wars are not happening.
I think all builders should be.
It's
like, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Yesterday we had the interviews. We changed the interview criteria a little. Where before, if someone said, "Why do you want to?" One of the questions were like, "What are you best at in Minecraft?" And if you said building, you had a higher chance of getting in than if someone said PvPer. But I think starting from yesterday, me and Twinkie were in a VC about it ages ago, and we were going to add it ages ago, but we postponed it. And I think we added it yesterday. If not, it'll be on the next interviews, where we're going to start letting people come in when they say PvP. And I'm not saying like we didn't let people who said PvP in. It was just they had a lower chance of coming in.
So back to the point of so back to the point was like you were saying like, oh, there's a lot of builders, but I feel like the server, it has a funnel, and that funnel is only allowing majority builders to come in. Maybe that's because of the war, maybe because of the rules, maybe it's because of like the community, or maybe it's just because like friend groups like are joining the server and they're all just builders. But like most of like there's a funnel, and it's definitely pumping more builders into the server than PvPers. And like, what's your thoughts about that? Like, do you believe that there's a funnel and it's only pumping in builders and like?
I mean, with what I just said, I feel like that kind of clears your answer.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It was the server at the start was more lenient to builders because they wanted more builds to be built. But
and I still stand by what I did, by the way. Like, I mean, if you look at the server, a lot of nations have incredible builds. Yaroslavia City, amazing. Irova City on the mainland, amazing. Meridia City, amazing. Naldor City, okay. Kagome will be amazing. Valoria, it's
Novus
getting
will
there.
be amazing.
Novus will also be amazing, but I don't know what happened to Novus. They just stopped.
But the thing is that you sacrifice that. You sacrificed good builds for content, for like tight knit community, and a big thing is player activity. Because as like at the starting of the pod, what we said was that player activity is it's been stagnant, and then it goes up when like new players join, goes up to like 50 to 70, or if there's an event like today, it went up really high and it was really nice. But then on average days, it just goes back down to the 20s and 10s.
Yeah, but I feel like once again, like you guys said this in one of your previous podcasts. I think it was your first one where you guys were talking about the player count. You got it very wrong. You guys are saying the server is dead. It's very much not dead, but it is very much boring.
Okay.
I feel like because you guys were exaggerating the numbers. Here are the actual numbers. I have the statistics for it. To Monday to Thursday, the player base is at an average count of 16.6 of players per day, and then Friday to Sunday, it's 44.8.
But that's still pretty low for a server that can hold up to 100 players and has about I think 300 players.
It's not too low though.
Is it realistically low, or is it just kind of mid?
Right.
I would say it's more mid than low.
I do want to ask two final questions. If
Go on.
Warlord, if you want to say anything, how do you feel about this? Is one of my biggest problems on the server. When you have a nation that has 20 plus players and you're going to attack another nation, but you realize that there's like there's only 5 players or 6 players. Do you like morally it just doesn't feel right to, kill a small nation? Like
I swear to God, didn't you ask me earlier to have no morals?
I know. I understand that, but like how would you, in your perspective, if you had a nation like Farmo again, did you care if a nation was small?
Honestly,
you didn't really
honestly,
care because you came down to your miso and just took over shit.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
I feel like people put. Okay, if you're on a Geopol server and you join the server with the idea of I'm going to conquer the world, you shouldn't join the server and then be like I'm going to ally everyone. You join the server to conquer the world. It's like I feel like Irova is the perfect example of this. No, Yaroslavia is even better. Yaroslavia joined the server to have internal politics and have like almost like a close-knit community where there are wait, what did Bean just say? Clouds, when you take over a server, you need backup.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to ally everyone. That's I'm going to war Meridia. Let me ally Meridia.
Technically, if you ally with the whole world, you technically.
All right.
Bro, shut up, bro. You dumb as fuck.
And that was a stupid question on my part. This is the last question. Warlord, if you want to add anything after.
Yeah, of course.
How did you feel about getting crossfaded every single day for the last 2 days?
So I'm gonna get very personal now. My name is Adam, my real name. I suffer from depression. I suffer from CPTSD. If anyone knows what that is, drop a W in chat. I suffer from insomnia. I suffer from a lot of other mental illnesses because my dad died 5 years ago and my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer 2 years ago. I'm not mentally the most stable person. I would say I'm okay. I'm very content at where my life is at the moment. I recently got a job and I'm about to finish school, so big W's there.
WW.
I suffer from just a lot of mental issues, and one of the main ways I solve that is by ignoring it. And by doing that, one of the easiest ways for me is to get either knackered drunk, very high, or do both at the same time. And it's usually do both at the same time. Like I know for a fact after this, I'm going to get absolutely off my head with my friends online. So like, I do suffer from a lot of that issues, but I don't let it get in my way. And
Yeah, good.
eh,
That
W
question was
class, W
steered the wrong
class,
way.
W class, W class. That's good.
It was supposed to be
like
like a
Good
funny
job.
joke,
I'm
but
proud of you.
you know.
there's I have tried to commit suicide 3 times now. One time I was so close that if a car drove past me, I would not be here right now. That's how close I was one day. What happened was I had a fight with my brother. It got very bad. I jumped out of a 2-story window. Somehow didn't break any of my bones. Don't know how that's possible. Ran down the most dangerous road on where I live, and usually at that time there's so many cars that drove past, but no car drove past me. And if there was, I wouldn't be here right now. And I'm trying to get better, but I
I hope you get
can't.
better.
I can't when I have so much on my plate at the moment. Like I have to take care of my mom, I have school, I have work, I have the server, I have content. I do my side hustle where I flip shoes for a living. Like I have so much on my plate, but I don't let it get in my way, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a message to all the people with mental illnesses.
Yeah.
It gets better. It does get
Yeah, definitely
better.
get better, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
I've gone through the worst a person can go through, and it gets better.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah,
I
100%.
feel like I have the experience to help help other people, and I want my story to get out there. And that was one of the main reasons why I joined the podcast today, was to get me
W
out
class,
there,
W class.
was to let people know that you do get better.
And
Like I remember 3 years ago was the night that I ran out and I jumped out the 2-story window. That night I've never felt worse than that. But after that, after me looking down death's door, I got better. I literally got better. I'm not saying people try to attempt suicide, by the way. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
it's
But
just
Yeah.
when
you
hit
do
your
get better.
lowest
It just
lows.
takes time. It just takes
Take
time.
time. Take your time, yeah. And also for everybody who's watching, people like admins and mods, they're humans at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
they can't be on 24/7. They probably can, maybe sometimes they're not going to be on the whole day, and you have to
Mhm.
understand that. So like pinging them all the time and like, oh, why are they not on? You have to understand that, and you have to
Mhm.
understand that people have lives and people have problems in their life. So
Anyway, I actually have some questions for you.
Ooh, have the
okay.
tables have turned.
Yeah.
That was a quite a turn. That was quite a turn, but okay, yeah.
Alright, let's see.
All right. This
Do I
one's
get some
for
questions?
Sulibaz particularly.
That's what you get cut.
Ooh, this
I
turned.
want to know what is happening with Novus. You don't have to give me the in detail plan,
Ooh,
but just a small one.
ooh,
What is
this is getting
happening?
deep.
Ooh, it's getting spicy.
Okay.
Sulibaz getting exposed?
So with Novus, like what's gonna happen or what happened?
Both.
Okay. So what happened was we reached a point where like everyone in Novus just had to do something. Like I had other stuff that I had to do, like help out people around my neighborhood. XI had to do exams. Half of the people on my team had to do exams because we're in America or Italy.
Mhm.
So, it's just strictly focused. And other people, summer vacation, if you're aware of that, uh, you know, we have jobs like after school starts, so
Mhm.
we're not able to get on as much as possible. That happened to a lot of our boys. I think one of them's deployed in the military or something like that, or some
Oh wow.
L9 or
Is
something.
it
Thanks
the
for serving the
Caden guy?
country.
What?
Let's go. Let's
Is
go.
it the Caden guy?
No, it's L9.
Oh.
That'd be for protecting
Good
our
guy.
country.
W mans. W mans.
Shout out to
W
Caden. He
mans.
works at a concession stand.
What happened?
But
What happened to the guy
Anyways.
to the where was their guy who
anyways,
who declared religious war on us?
oh, Were?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't talked with Were in a while. He's been
Bro, blame,
he's
bro.
been playing Valorant. So,
Bro. Go San
anyways,
Diego.
Bro.
the future of Novus, I'll let you hear it right now.
Weeks.
So, what we decided to do is we took a page out of old history, to say the least,
Mhm.
and you know, sometimes to be the good guy, you have to do bad things.
Amen.
But yeah,
So
Amen.
Yo,
that's
he's a
all.
villain. He's a villain.
That's all. I'm gonna
he's a
say.
villain.
As you see,
Stay
in
on
Sticks and
Sky.
All right,
Stones, I
all right.
changed my name to
Now this is a
Sulibaz.
question for everyone. This is one for everyone.
Are you gonna ask a question
What?
about me?
All right,
That's
fine.
okay.
Fine. I'll
You're
go.
nobody, Warlord.
You're
You're
not,
nobody.
Clouds.
Oh, Carrot, shut the freak up.
Warlord.
Oh, okay, Sulibaz.
I have a question for you then.
No need.
I've heard from word of mouth, particularly
Mhm.
from a person who's very close to you, and no, it's not Kiwi. All right.
Oh my god, why do I got so many ops around me, bro? Like,
I've
they're
heard
leaking everything.
that you, Drew, and a couple others are going to be creating a Mercenta 2.0, basically.
Absolutely.
Can I get a date on that?
That's until Drew gets on, bro. Like Drew gets on, and
Is
he's
he too
done with
busy
his
playing
exams.
Fortnite again?
No, he just finished his exams, and I think he's doing
Oh.
basketball now.
Warlord,
But
a noise dude was asking about you as well.
I got so many fans nowadays. Like I'm popular.
All right.
now.
Last
popular
question.
now.
This is last question. But that I have anyway. What's everyone's opinion on like the new weapons, the new enchants, all that
I
type
like
of shebang?
W.
They're good, but
I like him.
The only
good?
thing I hate, the only thing I hate is the blindness thing. Like that thing is just annoying. It's so annoying.
And levitation.
I just hate the bows.
And also, Clouds,
Mhm.
W Clouds and W Twinkie for actually making out of the iron phase, bro. We finally
Yes.
got
Welcome.
Oh
that.
yeah,
Thank
W.
you.
Okay,
Clouds and
I need to be
Twinkies,
honest. I'm going to call out Twinkie and Yamaha here. That was me. All right.
Oh, W Clouds. W Clouds.
Wait, Clouds,
Yeah,
I just want to ask
finally.
you a
No, I'm
question.
just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was it was
Wait.
all three of us. I'm sorry. That was all three of us.
Wait,
I
Clouds,
just wanted
Clouds,
to call them out.
I just want to certify this on the podcast. Is it
Mhm.
because we complained about the ages? Is that why you did the Diamond Age? Is it
Not
'cause we
really.
complained enough?
You're lying.
Really?
He's
I
lying
just
out of his
I
ass.
just felt like it
He's
was,
lying. He's lying.
I'm not. I felt like it was just way too long of an Iron Age.
Bro,
Fine,
listening
yeah.
to the podcast, he's like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
I forgot to do that."
When when can we enchant our own stuff? When can we make an
You can,
enchantment?
we can. We can.
So
we can.
you can. You can.
Yeah, we can.
No, not the one at spawn, like a max one.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I think there's one at spawn. I think.
Oh my
You're
god!
not-
The one at spawn is the full level 30 now.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Oh yeah, we can also do it ourselves. We can we can mine obsidian now.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well, no, you can't make
that
e-tables
because
yet.
I have
You
a-
can't
I
make
have a
e-tables
maxed
yet.
out pick.
Aww.
E-tables will be probably when full diamond is out.
Okay.
What's
At least we're
after?
getting full diamond, boys. At least we're getting full diamond. That's what
What's
matters.
after Diamond Age?
Oh.
I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. I don't think the server will ever go past Diamond Age. And if it does, it will be so far in the future that we would have forgotten about this conversation. Like, it was so far in the future.
It's on
you
YouTube,
know?
buddy.
Ah,
We're
damn.
never forgetting this convo. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Like,
This thing's
I
gonna get-
truly, like, okay. This is a little bit personal when it comes to this. Like, I hate Netherite so
It's the
much.
most fun, bro. It's the
It
most
makes
fun.
wars
No, no,
last
no.
way too fucking long.
For real.
It's
I
true.
agree.
Dude,
I
diamond
fucking hate
takes
Netherite.
longer.
Look,
The
Warlord,
way
just
I
takes
think
so
diamond
longer.
is
You're right.
perfect. I think
Yes.
diamond is so perfect. You can kill someone, but it's like a long enough fight so that it's so intense.
Yeah.
Bows are not obsolete. They're good, but they're no longer the meta anymore.
Thank
And
God.
like diamond is such a perfect amount where like if you're in a 2v3, like let's say it's Sulibaz, me, and Noma versus Warlord and Bean, I would drop Warlord easy, but Bean might win against all three of us, you know?
Yeah.
Because diamond is just so even.
Well,
You
actually,
can ask
I
Nicholas
don't think
directly.
he would have dropped
The
me.
trash talk
Warlord
in
just
this
would've ran
pod
away.
is crazy. The trash talk
Anyways,
in the pod is crazy.
I got
sadly,
receipts. I beat Warlord in a 1v1. He definitely was an
we
AFK.
did hit
bro.
the 1 hour mark for a podcast.
Let's
Yo,
Yo.
W
man.
podcast.
Yeah.
Best
W.
podcast
Yeah.
ever, bro. W guess.
Oh, we didn't really hit the mark. We still have like 2 minutes to go, but we're ending.
Oh,
it
2
right
minutes.
there.
Don't worry. I can ramble for a bit. Watch this. I can rap.
Okay.
I can rap for the outro. You ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
No,
amazing.
no,
How do you
yeah.
ask for everything?
Yeah. Yeah, it's me, Clouds. I'm chilling with Glister, Noma, Sulibaz the Bean, and Warlord. Don't forget about Chicken Dude. He might be a chicken,
yeah.
but he's so cool. Then we go down to Glister the Tyresian. His nation fell because he's an Egypt.
No
And then we
way.
go on to
No
Noma,
way.
the Vanheim
Yeah,
Lord, who
yeah.
is a Nova.
Yeah.
And then we got Sulibaz, the Turkish king, who's from America.
Yeah.
And then we got the Bean.
Yeah.
Ooh.
End of
Oh, yeah.
story. He's a bean.
Oh,
yeah.
And then we go on to Warlord.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
nothing but because he is so poor.
Oh,
Oh,
all
Lord.
right.
Oh,
30 seconds.
3 seconds. All right.
30, 20 now.
Oh,
19,
20 seconds.
18, 17, 16,
everybody see ya.
15,
No
14.
countdown. It makes it boring. Come
13.
on, make the most of this.
All right.
Make
Favorite
more.
question.
Okay.
All right. Just to say,
What's everyone's favorite utensil?
a
Fork.
spork. Yeah,
Fork.
yeah,
Ah!
yeah.
No, it's a steak knife because you could shank people with it.
Yo, what? Bro, it's definitely
All
British.
right, we hit the 1 hour mark. Final
like
words
my
to say
rod.
is
Bye.
don't
This
wanna
is
go
the
to
best
World Cup.
podcast yet.
Yep. Peace.